Alright guys, this is Dommercoolstuff, and this is going to be what I'm going to do for pretty much the next day or two E3 coverage from my house and streams. So we're going to kick it off right away with the first presentation, which was Microsoft. According to Razorfist, all they had to do was games, and never mention Kinect. Well, short story long, that's what they did. Snap for achievements on Xbox One, which is basically real-time tracking to see how close you are to said achievement that you want to track, or if you're having difficulty with an achievement, you can always pull up the achievements for the game, which one you're trying to hunt for, click it, and it will bring up a Google search, which is going to give you links to how to get said achievement and YouTube videos on how to get said achievement as well. Started with Call of Duty. The Advanced Warfighter 2, or whatever the hell game they're calling it now. I was not impressed in the least. It basically borrowed a lot of stuff from games. And yes, there's nothing really original about games anymore, so to speak. Everything you think has been done has probably been done already. But what happened with this was it seemed to heavily borrow stuff from Halo ODST with the drop ships and the drop shock troopers, and also Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. So that was very strange and very off-putting, so to speak, and it looked like a typical Call of Duty game with no real innovation whatsoever. Evolve. This is a must-buy for fans of Left 4 Dead. It's made by the guys that made the first Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was definitely from the Left 4 Dead team. Speaking of which, where the fuck is Left 4 Dead 3 at? Come on, guys. It's 4-on-1. One player is the monster, which, holy shit, that monster is huge and ginormous and scary, and has a lot of, it seems he has a lot of abilities to fuck with the 4 team members. You have to work as a team. If you splinter off and try to do your own thing, you're going to quickly get your ass owned by said monster. Ubisoft came out with Assassin's Creed. Another Assassin's Creed in France. My first impression after the reveal was singing Les Mis' Can You Hear the People Sing, singing the Song of Angry Men, because that's exactly what it fucking looked like. Co-op-y too, which is different. It might actually get some people to get reinvested in the Assassin's Creed franchise. Insomniac, the guys that made the Ratchet & Clank games, are now doing Sunset Overdrive. Holy shit. First off, it made fun of pretty much half of the first-person shooters out there and third-person shooters out there in the first 10 seconds. Then it goes into the ballistically crazy trailer, basically telling you what happened in the game, why are you a hero, and why are people why there's some bad guys in there. It's hyper-action, combo-fueled gameplay, and, your right jet grind radio a little bit in there, some parkour free walking action in there, tons of explosions, combo meters out the wazoo, and the guns are so crazy bonkers. I mean, this is the team that made the Ratchet & Clank games, so they kind of know their good weaponry. The Super Ultra Mega Deluxe Edition Dead Rising 3, good move, Capcom, very good move, adds some nice difference in game Dead Rising 3 while honoring certain aspects of the franchise of the past. Fable Legends is the co-op is 4 players are playing the heroes, 1 player is playing the villain. This has been done a couple of times before, like in pen and paper D&D and stuff like that. But I really think that it's going to add an interesting element to the Fable franchise, and something that's quite possibly missing from the Fable franchise. The humor is still the same. It's going to off-put some of you. It's going to turn some of you off. Ori looks amazing and fucking depressing all at the same time. Visually, it was stunningly beautiful, but it just seems like a game that's going to tug at your heartstrings a lot. On November 11th, the entire Master Chief Saga comes out on Xbox One. That is Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's Halo 1 Anniversary Edition. Halo 2's getting the Anniversary Edition makeover as well. 3 and 4, all the multiplayer maps, 100 maps in total. Everything is shipping with the multiplayer as is. It's going to be probably the Xbox One's killer app that you're gonna need to buy. And I'm just a little peeved, just a little bit, because I was hoping Halo 2 Anniversary Edition was gonna come out on Xbox 360, not the Xbox One, and not bundled in with the other 4 games. It's a little redundant for me, because now, when I get this game, I'm going to own 3 copies of Halo 1, and now 2 copies of Halo 2. But, you know, if what they say is true and all 100 maps are fully available for multiplayer, that's awesome. That is one insanely killer buy. Everything's unlocked, too, from the start from what they said. So you can do custom playlists right out the gate, your favorite moments, your favorite things. It's going to be a huge fucking game for Xbox One. And they're teasing the story about how there's another Spartan for Halo 5, or is that going to be part of Nightfall, which they announced as well. Halo 5 Guardians beta coming out in December, and apparently the online is running at 60 frames a second in 1080p. So, holy shit, that's amazing. Now I need an Xbox One, or 2 of them, for me and my wife. Some indie love was given with Mighty Number 9, and a bunch of other ones, but Mighty Number 9 was the one that piqued my interest the most. The story of Tomb Raider 2 and Tomb Raider 1, you know, the relaunch, I like. It's actually dealing with heavy, weighty emotions, and it's basically, the trailer is Lara Croft with her therapist dealing with the issues that happened in the first game, because let's be real here, some really fucked up shit happened in that first game. Witcher 3 in 2015, and they had some gameplay of that. Looks amazing. And I love the whole openness and unpredictability of the missions. What they showed you was you were hunting a griffin, and in the middle of the griffin fight, the griffin flies away. So you have to start tracking the griffin again, which blood tracking was amazing. The Division keeps looking better and better and better for me. Last year, it was one of my anticipated games that I've been waiting for patiently. And I love the expanding missions. It started with them trying to sneakily get into a base and flank a few guys from the left as there was a big group on the right. They tried to silently take out the guys on the left, failed, so they had this big mob scene happen. And it was very chaotic, very natural. They were trying to present it as it was like being played at that time, but it wasn't. But it was a very tech demo-y concept of what multiplayer is going to be about with this game. I love the XP system. I love the fact that it's got some light RPG elements to it. And also, I really want to know if they had succeeded in taking the guys out silently on the left, what would have happened? Would they have gotten to the base easier? Would the mission have been more successful? Would they have gotten more XP for completing the mission in a silent manner? And out of nowhere, Jay from 3 Kilobytes before the conference predicted Crackdown 3. Guess what they showed? Fucking Crackdown 3. But Crackdown 2 was such a letdown that I don't know if I'm going to invest in Crackdown 3, especially if it's going to be the same style gameplay as before. Crackdown 2 was definitely a fail, in my opinion. Fucking, this is literally what I wrote on my thing. No Gears of War? Fucking wow. I'm not very happy with that, by the way. I kind of do like the Gears of War franchise. My wife adores the Gears of War franchise. And it just seems like the series might be on hiatus or dead at this point, and I really do blame Judgment for that one. And I have to say, they hit a home run with it this year. They definitely atoned for the mistakes of last year, and they literally just said nothing but games. And that's what it was. Nothing but games. This is Dommercoolstuff. I'll be back with a couple more throughout the course of the next couple of days. This is my E3 Microsoft impressions. Still need an Xbox One, and this E3 conference might have sold me on it finally. This is Dommercoolstuff, and as always, do good gaming.